The views and
Hello,
opinions
all.
expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reader's Magnet featured author interview. And we are live through all our streaming platforms. So wherever you're looking at, wherever you're watching this interview, feel free to leave a like, share it, and comment though, and feel free to join in the conversation. And okay, so once again, though, we're here today to dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. And our guest for today is the author of the book Uncle Jethro's Guide to the Sixth Sense. So please help me welcome Mr. Jethro Smith. So, Mr. Jethro, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Really happy to get the book out there, and I hope it helps a lot of people with their intuitive abilities.
Love that. Love that. So again, to all of our viewers, though, we're going to be adding links down in the comment section below, so at least you can grab a copy. And in order for you to know more about this book and try to see on how can this book be of something for you, let's talk to the author herself. But first and foremost, to all of our viewers and to those who are just watching and just tuning in, Mr. Jethro, can you please give us a quick introduction of who is the Jethro Smith?
Yes, I'm a professional psychic reader and intuitive, and I've been reading for over 30 years. I've read in Sedona, Arizona, Maui, Hawaii, Boulder, Colorado, presently in Florida. And I had an experience as a child and had a drowning experience at the pool, which heightened my gift. And through the years, I've picked up different modalities. The book Living in the Psychic Realm has my teachers. And what I have the most about is people wanting this type of book. So I've put together different ways for other people to read and enjoy their own readings for themselves.
No, I love that. Talking about it, 30 years of experience doing this. And again, it takes time and it takes that heightened intuition for you to know that you can give that good psychic reading. But being an author is something else. That's a different story about it. So I just want to ask you, Jethro, like what motivated you to write a book on awakening your intuition then?
The students, I had other people coming in, they had abilities. And what was fun about it is I would have individuals, I'm picking this up, and I got different modalities. That's what's good about this book. I call it anything you've got at home, because you can use the playing cards, dice. I had a teacher that worked with me for years to sharpen my skills before I did on the line, because I was working at home and had kids and needed to learn more than just the tarot. For everyone loves the tarot. I have won awards on American Federation psychics and top US psychics. And I found out that not everyone knew about them. I thought everybody knew the dice. I was taught by an older teacher, and he's like, roll the dice and do it. And I'm like, okay. And I'd read the numbers and the numerology. And another one is the dominoes. Dominoes is something that you don't see very much of. And they were added to mine for timing and date, because all of you know that have had readings, what's the thing that you want to get from a psychic? You want to be precise, accurate, and you want to know those dates and times of when this is happening and what they're predicting. And these tools are fun to use, and we'll do that for you.
And talking more about your book here, Jethro, because again, tarot cards is just the norm. Like everyone knows about tarot cards, and you mentioning of using dice and dominoes to get an intuitive reading, though, I would say though it's not really common, and it was the first time that I even checked. Like, hey, you can use dice and dominoes. So I want to ask you, the Jethro, using dominoes and dice to do your intuitive readings. How accurate are these readings compared to a tarot card reading then?
They're just as accurate. The only difference is the playing cards. You have 52 cards where you have 78 of the major arcana for the tarot. So the tarot can be, I would say, like 98% more on symbology and things happening, where it's about a 90% with the playing cards. The excellent thing is that by doing the playing cards, you don't have all those rules. You have to, if you ever drop a tarot card, and there's a lot of parts of that subconscious and things working with the tarot. With the playing cards, you can continue to do it. I've had people that need to be a believer, and we'll do the playing cards 3 times. And you look at the statistics, they're like 133,000th time this card has came, the odds in the favor. What is more accurate is with, I've had people with tarot and doing it on the line and in other, modalities, that I would read something 3 months, that card's holding it. Where with the playing cards, you don't have that. You can really get more detail, because we may have that big question. Am I going to marry this person? Is this coming to be? You're all excited, and the tarot person says, you're going to have a new relationship. You're like, yay, 3 months. But it leaves out the piece. Maybe it's another relationship. Also, what I love, and you'll like about it, what I think you guys have, I put it in their instructions. I have to joke. I'm one of those people that needs it real simple. This is a reference guide. So you can look, and we put it in there. It's from me and Kay. Kay put the drawings on there, and so you can see the card, you can see what it means. And what I like is that, the reversal used to be the big thing for tarot. So everybody's looking at this almond. If the card's reversed to me, oh, it means this, it means that. That is true with tarot, but what's excellent with this is you can also free will and outcome be able to really get in depth. All of us that are spiritually awakened, those in 2025, I have a lot of students that I teach in Sedona, Maui. These cards, they can sit down, and then the fun thing is you can test yourself. What's excellent for those of us that are awakening or in tune, as you guys are opening up with your spirituality, I'm getting this. Where do I take it to? You can sit down in a safe place with your house using the cards. Yes and no questions. I have that in there. I have really about specific questions, and you can sit down and tune your gifts. So you're not just getting that flash. I'm getting this is happening, but you're actually getting time, place, where, and can add it to. I love that. Where the tarot's not going to give you that.
Sure. True, and I agree with that. And it's kind of a bit I'm just kind of a bit unique though when it comes with that approach though. Tarot cards, they have a lot of symbolism. There are a lot of things on how you interpret it, and using playing cards and dice could be different. So I just want to ask you, Jethro, like how did you first discover that playing cards and dice could be used as tools for intuitive reading, and what drew you to this practice instead of using a normal tarot cards?
Well, I'm going to tell on myself, and it's a really funny story, but ironically, I was reading very well in stores, and then when on the line, I needed a tool. So I had a little bit of awkward with the tarot back then. I was telling my age here after it, but I was in my early 20s, and the tarot, you have to be, if those of you who've worked on Psychic Line, you can't have many minutes quiet, right? Because they're paying by the minute. While you're articulating, you're going, I realized that it was there that I was having a little trouble with the tarot. I was very accurate, won some awards in Canada and other places with my readings, but I was always getting flagged for slowing down. I had to really keep talking. Now I talk fast from it. But what is I got in there and was reading and I'm having these troubles. The teacher of mine's like, you used the playing cards when we first practiced. And he was my major teacher in the Rocky Mountains. He said, when you get in the playing cards, you get so articulate. You get in, there's a person with red hair. This is happening here, a young person in their 40s. Then you get the flash. Those of you intuitive, this person's name is Jill. And it was exciting. He goes, you like the cards, but honestly, you're nervous of the tarot. And I had to admit, my thing was that when I'm saying to them, you have the change in a death card, I would have people, and then they're on the phone and I'm feeling them like, maybe I got the wrong line, and they're all nervous. And I get nervous because I'm empathic. So with the cards, I never had that because I didn't have those ones in there. There's going to be a change. Instead of the falling tower, your divorce or your job, I'm having a change here. You're going to do this. And I found out that a lot of times by how I addressed it with the cards, I was giving them not only positive guidance, but really turning their intuitive. Ooh, I've been feeling my boss isn't happy. Maybe I should be looking, what I'm saying. And we would laugh about it, but I became the comedy on there because I could tease and joke and say, when you didn't show up those days, that seems like that's causing your problem. Where if you just said a falling tower, they're like, they can't fire me. I've got an employee. And they were ready for, they took it from there. So I felt that it was funny to me, but it made it a lot easier to, you can dish out sugar to a kid, but if you're handing them doses of it, they're like, you got it.
Makes sense. And playing cards and dice, dice reading. So when I think about dice, though, it really relies on numerical values. So I just want to ask you also, Jethro, because again, you use dice to incorporate within your readings. So when it comes with numerical significance, so how do you personally interpret like different dice rolls, and do you incorporate any specific system or any traditions when you do it?
I do. I keep them, and I wish I'd have brought mine with me. I have some big dice that are enormous, wooden ones, and I've done them in California at psychic fairs. It's really good to, they need to be, you need to hold those dice. They need to have something of a bag or something that they're carried in. Just like the tarot, they have their own home. So you need to have a place that they're protected. This isn't one that you go to casinos with. I had a friend that won and he got the dice, or some big moment happened. They changed the dice and he bought a Parrot Lucky something. And what happened was those have energy. You need to have them only for this purpose. And then the numbers, as you'll read in the book, is excellent. Keep getting twos. Twos is relationship. It's telling you this time. If you're looking at dates, you're sitting here, I know that this is coming to be and you want to use something. The cards don't have that. You can take those dice, hold them, and you can do your math, which I've got in there, and it'll tell you this is happening on the 18th of May. This is happening on the month of the 10th, so you know it's October. And it was a good way to pick that up, because as a student, and those of you who've had readings, we love all of our readings, but if you get a general reading, it's going to happen in the fall. What fall? I've lived in a lot of states in my life. The trees change all over. Is it a fall in Florida, or is it the Rocky Mountains? Because the fall only lasts 3 weeks. Florida, we have it for almost 2 months. So what was able to do with the numbers is to bring it in more focused. And I've had through the year, you guys will see, any of you that are looking at my name, please do. I do Zoom classes. I've been doing this over 20 some years at Sedona, and like I say, retreats. But this made it affordable for everybody, where I don't have to sit down and I can just sit down. You got the book, it comes in easy, or you want a night off, or you want to come and see. I got one question for you. You come in on our Zoom, we have a Friday Psychic Circle, and you'll see individuals there. Jethro, my cards keep telling me that I'm getting married, and I don't want to get married. And we'll laugh. Oh, you got to put the feng shui to what it's saying. It's saying relationship. It didn't say commitment. It says this person. And then oftentimes they'll be like, oh, this makes sense. This is, my other type of relationship, or whatever they're looking for. It's fun to work together. We need to all come together for the spiritual awakening. Help each other with this intuitive. It's a great thing. Where some people are a little nervous. I'm getting numbers, I'm getting symbology, 111s, and the angels are with me. And then the mind starts going, why are the angels with me unless something's going on? No, they're always with you. Now let's take it another level and see what they're doing.
Oh, love that. And if there's one thing, when you're talking about intuitive reading as well, there is this personal intuition that you always insert as well. So I just want to ask you, Jethro, how do you balance structured symbolism with your own personal intuition when you do your readings?
Oh, I really am big about it. I want the circle symbolism. I want the sacred space. I put that in there for the meditation. I also use protections in there because, and this is a topic that people will get intense about. What do I need to be protected from? Outside energy. We all know that someone can send and receive to you. I want you to buy something here, and I'm really promoting in my store. You come out with a stereo system you really didn't need, and it wasn't just the salesman's thing. So what you've caught is different color, different energy. So you need that sacred. You need the triangle there of the spirituality. I'm very spiritual, as you can tell, with my angels, and I use a lot of Ganesh and other modalities from teachers. I really advocate being clear-minded, really strong with those symbology, and making sure that you're putting out the best tool. Those of you know I read runes here, and we have those symbols. They laugh. I don't do anything without the Scandinavian P, because I want that positive protection. And I can say that from my experience, it's really helped. I put it in a way in my life in feng shui. Yeah.
Love that. And before we wrap this up though, and just to talk more about the how the experiences you have, and also the readings that you have done for over 30 years. Is there can you share with me us a memorable experience, where playing cards or the dice provided unexpected insights or guidance during a reading then?
I can tell you, those of you with the intuitive, that in one of the most funnest memories was in Colorado, reading there at a metaphysical store. The person was that hard person to read. We all have that person. I've never been read. I can't be read. It was okay. It's what's all that her family wanted her to be read. I was reading, sensing things. I was getting basic. She had this blue energy. She was very communicative. She was, it was just a basic aura reading was what was happening. When I added the cards to it, it was very significant about her and some money and some things that she was going to get. As she won the lottery the next month, it really upped my numbers with people. They became a little more believer. What I was really impressed was she was very left-sided brain, for those of you who know numbers and things, so she could relate to this. And she actually helped me with it later as a friend, and putting some other connection to it. She found out that some of her psychic ability was numerology. And it was funny because at first I was like, well, this isn't resonating. I thought, okay, we all have our ratio. And then I said, let me try these. And we tried and all of a sudden it just started flowing. It went through it. It made sense to her. What was cool and ironic was even her phone number, the digits that she had that was given to her by the company, was 4 numbers that were very prosperous and out. And she's a well-to-do person that I can speak of, here, that loved the cards and had a good antidote for it,
Love that. Love that. And you know what? Going back to all of our viewers, so I just want to say this though. Again, I want you to at least try to check it out. Though, grab a copy. And again, and if ever you want to know more about the Jethro Smith, though, he has a website that's psychicjethro.com. I will be adding that links in the comment section below. And before we wrap this up, Jethro, and to all of your future readers and to all the people who will be picking up your book, is there a message or main takeaway that you want your future readers to take after buying and reading your book?
I do. Take a really opening look at it. And, if we feel they're resonating, enjoy it. And please give me your reviews because I have other books out there I'm working. And I want to thank you, Readers Magnet, that have helped me with this one and some future ones that we're putting them out there. So write to me. Give me your questions. Let me know what you're getting. I've done this a long time, but I'm always learning. I had a person kept getting all these different cards, and we put together a really cool formula because I've done it many years. I'll answer your questions, or as we've got this coming up on YouTube and other places, you can do there or my website. And I hope you enjoy the book as much as I did writing it.
Love that. Love that. Again, and again, Jethro, just want to say thank you very much, though. And, as we end of today's conversation, I just want to say thank you very much for taking a moment and sharing with us your insights and also inspiration and experiences that you had when coming up with this book. And if we're talking about your book, Uncle Jethro's Guide to the Sixth Sense, we're talking about a person who wrote the book with experience and has the track record to at least show to everyone on how can you use psychic readings, intuitive readings to your advantage as well, and for you to be guided. Because again, there's nothing good in having a good reference book, and this book is one book that I would like each and every one of you viewers to add to your shelves right now. So if ever you're interested, though, feel free to grab a copy. It's available through Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and also through his website. That's psychicjethro.com. So Jethro, I just want to say this. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you and have this conversation. And I'm looking forward to see your success as being an author and being a psychic reader as well in the future. Okay.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you, Rob, and thank you, Readers Magnet.
Okay. And again, to all of our viewers, thank you very much for tuning in. And always remember that every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless and your imagination boundless. And as we say here at Readers Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a good one. Bye-bye.